Since starting the loop in 2018, we have had an itch ever since to get the second leg of our loop done. This task was to go from Mobile Bay to Jacksonville, Florida in about a week. First, had to get the boat from Lake of the Ozarks down to Mobile Bay by trailer before we could even get this task started. Once we got in the water, we took the intercoastal waterway from Mobile Bay and headed east. Since we had been driving all day and got on the water late, we had some friends staying in the Destin area, so we decided to stop in Destin and call it a night there. Destin, we ended up taking our friend's car and driving all the way to Mobile Bay to get the truck and trailer and bringing it back to Destin. We figured this would save us 2 hours at the end of the trip from having to drive from Jacksonville all the way back to Mobile Bay. At least this way we could just stop in Destin and have the truck and trailer there. After going through Panama City without filling up, we realized that was a bad idea. We got a little bit further and realized the hurricane that came through the previous fall, pretty much all the marinas were closed. So we had to turn around, go back to Panama City to fill up fuel so we'd be able to make it to Alligator Point that night. This is one reason to do a little preparation before you leave for your trip, as we failed to do here. We had been talking through the day that our best chance at crossing the Gulf that day was going to be in the evening, since every morning we were waking up to strong winds making rough seas. So we thought we'd make it to Alligator Point, fill up fuel, and make the crossing to Steinhatchee. Only one problem. We get to Alligator Point and the marina's closed. So we decided to walk around the marina. We met a few guys that were working on a boat. We talked to them just a bit. They said the closest gas station was 20 miles inland. We thought, well, I guess we're not crossing tonight. Got to talking. They said they had gas cans at their house. They would take us to their house, fill up as many gas cans as we could. We ended up getting about 40 gallons in fuel, and that night decided to make the crossing to Steinhatchee. They even decided they were going to tag along with us. We ended up not leaving Alligator Point till about 11 o'clock at night, and started the crossing about 60 miles across the Gulf, 30 miles in the middle any which way to land. We woke up the next morning in Steinhatchee, Florida at Sea Hag Marina. Very nice little marina. We ended up getting our showers, leaving right away, and headed towards Tampa, Florida. From Steinhatchee to Tarpon Springs, there really is no intercoastal waterway. We ran about 20 miles off the coast of Florida, only in about 12 feet of water. While in the Gulf, we saw quite a few crab fishing boats that were dropping traps all over that we had to pay attention to so we didn't hit any of their floats. They were often hard to see with all the waves and whitecaps. After stopping in Tarpon Springs to grab some lunch, we continued on and ended up staying the night in Tierra Verde Marina, just on the north side of Tampa Bay. From Tampa Bay, we continued on the Intercoastal Waterway down through Venice Beach, trying to get all the way to Fort Myers. This section of the Intercoastal Waterway was no wake, so it took a toll on the miles we were able to accomplish for the day. There were some houses along this section of the Intercoastal Waterway where the front yard was actually the beach and the backyard would have actually had the Intercoastal Waterway with docks. It was kind of the best of both worlds. At the end of the day, we ended up stopping at Fort Myers City Marina and getting a hotel room. We ended up going out that night and checking out the city of Fort Myers nightlife. From Fort Myers, we took the Steinhatchee River across the Okeechobee Lake to the Atlantic side of Florida. Fort Myers to St. Lucie, the river includes a series of locks to get in and out of Lake Okeechobee. Through all the locks and dams, we made it to Lake Okeechobee. Once in the lake, there were gators everywhere. We'd been waiting the whole trip to see gators, and once we did, they were around every corner. There were gators everywhere. Lake Okeechobee is the 8th largest freshwater lake in the United States. It's a huge lake. When crossing the lake, there is a channel that goes all the way across. You have to follow the buoys to make it across. Our GPS, we missed a buoy and ended up just outside the channel and ran aground in the middle of the lake. It was a scary moment, but luckily there was no damage done and we were able to motor back into the channel and continue on our way. You could definitely tell as we got closer to the Atlantic side, there was big money in this area of Florida. Every marina we went by, there were massive yachts at every marina. It was pretty crazy to see. And as we got closer to the Intercoastal Waterway, it was like a little mini Lake of the Ozarks. There was traffic everywhere. Big boats, little boats, huge boats, yachts. We ended up staying at the Fort Pierce City Marina, which they had a room you were able to use to watch TV. They had showers. It's a very nice little marina. Within walking distance to some nightlife. They even had a little festival right around the corner from the marina. I definitely recommend staying at this marina. After leaving Fort Pierce, we did attempt to run along the coast to try to pick up some time since the Intercoastal Waterway was no wake. It was a little rough, so we came back in and ended up continuing on the Intercoastal Waterway. This also ended up being our first encounter with the U.S. Coast Guard on our entire trip. They were very nice and just checked our equipment and let us go on our way. Our goal was to make it from Mobile Bay to Jacksonville, Florida, but with all the no wake with the manatee zones and the Intercoastal Waterway, our trip went a little slower than expected. So we ended up calling it quits in Daytona Beach, ended up renting a car from Enterprise, driving all the way back to Destin, Florida, where we ended up leaving the truck and trailer, picked up the truck and trailer, drove back to Daytona Beach, loaded up, and headed back to St. Louis, Missouri.